welcome everyone. We're actually going to do our standard new process here. We're going to just look at the finished painting before we start. So let's take a look here. This is going to be the simple, fresh watercolor flowers in a vase on a simple table, a nice white table here, tablecloth, white tablecloth or a white table. Bright sunlight, and very simple for a simple occasional card. And you can notice here that we taped off, just so we're going to go over this again as we get into the video, but just so you know, we have the really good painter's tape you can get at any local big box store. That comes in different colors if you like, blue, yellow, green, purple. But this is really high quality painter's tape that professional painters use when they're painting homes, interiors, and they don't want to disturb surfaces that are already painted or wallpapered, so on and so forth. So if you use these tapes on your watercolor paper, you're guaranteed that they're going to 95% of the time it's not going to disturb any of your watercolor paper, so that when you peel it up, it's not going to pull any of your watercolor paper up with the tape. So this is excellent quality tape you can get at just your regular standard big box hardware stores. And again, this is the finished painting. We'll zoom in a little. We used wide tape here at the bottom, so we can put a nice message here. Congratulations, happy birthday, whatever message you want to have here. Nice wide piece of tape here, and then thinner tape around the three sides. And if we zoom in, you can see the painting, and we'll leave it there for just a minute or two so you can look at that. And it's a simple, loose painting, splashing, a little bit abstract-y, not too harsh realism here. Okay, that's plenty of time. You can do a screen capture, save that to your laptop or your iPhone or your phone, etc. So you have that. And we'll get right into the video. All right, Chris Petri here. Thanks for coming by. Everybody, welcome, welcome. Come on in. We're going to do some painting. We're going to do an interesting video today. We're going to actually do a card. We're going to do like an occasional card, So what a better way than to share your artwork than like occasional cards, whether it's a birthday card, get well card, happy anniversary card, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Easter, happy Hanukkah, all the different religions out there. Everyone's got different religions, obviously. So you can take any opportunity to create a card with your watercolors and share it with others. And it makes people happy when you share your artwork with them, when you send them a little card or you make them a card. Maybe it's also a way where it promotes your artwork. If you want to get your artwork out there more and share it with people, people will recognize it and give you a compliment and say, hey, I know somebody that has a gallery. Maybe you want to, do you create paintings? Do you want to? So it can open up doors for you. Again, the principle is, when you give, you receive. So giving cards is a great way when you create create some artwork and you give some artwork away. Sometimes it works for your benefit, and all of a sudden, you have an opportunity, that's presents itself because you've given your cards and, you've made some interesting looking artwork with your occasional card, and you never know. It's just all, if anything, it's just a fun thing you can enjoy, and it brightens up somebody's life. So here I just have a simple piece of watercolor paper, and it's about 8 by 12, and I just fold it in half. So that's all you have to do is really take a piece of watercolor paper, and you fold it in half, and you just crease it. And then what you do is you can paint your painting onto the card in this format, which is portrait or a landscape format. So it depends on what you're painting. So like if you're doing like maybe a scene of a city or a house, maybe this would be like the perfect format, like a landscape format like this. And then, the card sits perfectly like that when you stand it up. And then here, maybe if you're going to do maybe an interesting portrait or some possibly maybe some still life painting or even some landscape painting with some tall trees or something like that, some strong vertical elements in your painting, then this works perfect too, a vertical portrait style. And then, of course, it stands perfect when you set it on a table like that. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to create a painting on this folded piece of watercolor paper, and this becomes a card. It becomes an occasional card you can share with somebody in your family or friends or business acquaintances, whoever. So we'll set it down on the table. And I use good artist tape, and I just tape across the top like that. And what I normally do, and what I think is the best, is if you keep the border the same around 3 sides, and then you leave the bottom border larger, you can put a message on the bottom. So you leave the bottom larger, the taped off area, I should say. So here I just do the same thing. Then I'll use a wider tape for the bottom. And that gives us a great area to do like, a little message on the bottom with like pen or felt pen or, even pencil or pen, ballpoint pen, felt tip pen, ink. You can use ink too as well, ink and wash. So this is the real basic, simple way to do it. Now here, I'm just going to do and I'm going to show you how simple this is, how easy you can do this really very simple, and very quickly, maybe within 10, 15 minutes, you can have yourself a beautiful looking card. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'm going to do this just by my own creative juices I have in my mind. I'm thinking, well, what could I do? I could do a nice flower arrangement. So maybe a nice vase with some flowers, real simple. And that's what I'm going to do in my my card here. So again, this is not a 5-hour long painting at all. We're doing a card. We're doing a nice, beautiful gift card, an occasional card. So what I'll do is I'll just usually do my typical. Just to get an idea, I'm going to use table, okay, vase is going to be in the center, and maybe top of flowers, just so I know about where I want things to sit within the rectangle here. Okay, so let's do I'll just do a super light. So we'll pretend this is the table in the back here. I'm going to have a table, maybe a white tablecloth. So I'll pretend this is a white tablecloth. And I'm going to pretend this is a vase. And I'll start this down here. And maybe we'll make like a milk jar type vase. And so I'm just going to create this. And then I'm going to do a couple leaf forms. And I just make some some squiggly, some just squiggly lines here. Just like that, so that I have a pattern that I'm going to use to create this painting. Again, this is not a real sophisticated painting. It's not a real, detailed painting. It's going to be a more abstract feel to it. But then again, with our watercolors, if we're doing a painting like this where we're making a card, we don't want to labor and spend, 3-4 hours creating a card. We'd like to do this in maybe, 15, 20 minutes. So already we've spent, almost 10 minutes folding our paper, setting up our paints and our workstation here a little bit, to get set up to do our work, on our table or whatever we're working on. So we've already spent 15, 20 minutes setting everything up, taping it, folding the paper, taping it off with our artist tape. So it's got to be good artist tape, though, because when you peel this up, if you peel up and destroy the watercolor paper, that's going to ruin the whole effect. So you definitely want really good artist tape. I use Pro drafting tape. You can use 3M frog tape you can buy in big box stores like the hardware stores, the big companies, those big, huge box stores, the hardware companies. You can buy the frog tape. There's some frog tape that's out there. It comes in different colors, green, yellow, purple. So I have all the different frog tapes here, local, handy right next to my art table here. You can see this is painter's tape, high quality painter's tape, and that's what you want to use. This won't rip and tear your watercolor paper to shreds when you go to lift it up. So that's a key thing, because I used to do that when I first started watercolors. I was using cheap tape on my paper, and then when I would go to lift it up, it would tear half my painting apart, and I would be like, what's happening here? So this is a good thing to remember to use good painter's tape like this, the yellow stuff. There's green. So when you see these color tapes in the hardware store, painter's tapes, you'll know these are the good ones. Okay, now we did our vase and our flowers. Let's do our shadowing, a little bit of shadowing here on the vase. And then a little bit of shadowing. We just put a couple pencil marks just to let ourselves know we want to add a little shadowing for the flowers on the tablecloth. And we're going to make our light insignia up here. So we know where the light's coming from. It's coming from up here and going this way. So the shadow will be over here on this side. And we have our tablecloth back here, and that's about it. We just want to keep it real simple. A vase, some flowers, a tablecloth, a little bit of shadowing, and we're set. Okay, part 1 complete. Part 2 is next. We're going to get into the painting part of it. That should take another 10, 15 minutes, and we'll be good to go. And you have yourself a beautiful card, and then we'll even maybe do a little bit of writing on our card too, just to kind of bounce it out and show you how it's going to look when it's all completed. Okay, we'll see you in just a second. All right, we've taken our break. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming by again. And we just took a break before we start our painting. And I just wanted to mention, too, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel here. We do great videos once a week, every week, different subject matter in watercolors. So everything watercolors, but we'll do every type of imaginable subject matter you can really entertain. Landscapes, seascapes, cityscapes. We do flowers, still life paintings. We do pretty much everything you can really think of here on this channel. And we show you from A to Z, soup to nuts, the whole enchilada, how to start the painting, get it started, from laying out the painting, pencil drawing the painting, what colors to use, techniques to use to get the painting going and started, and then all the way through to the end to complete the painting 100%. So you're going to get the whole process of how to paint, draw and paint your watercolor painting here on this channel. So hey, please subscribe, enjoy. You know, it's just we have a great time here. So many fun people come by, and Leave a comment too if you like. We have plenty of comments in the comments section. People are always commenting. Great ideas and questions and tidbits of information that they put into the mix too that we learn. So there's always a lot of smart people, a lot of great watercolorists, color artists are on this channel and do share their ideas in the comments section, so you can learn from the comments too as well. I learn as well from the comments, and let's get going here. All right, so right away I see I'd like to make the vase a little bit wider at the bottom, so we'll just zip off these two sides a little bit. All right, that looks a little better. And again, we're doing a really carefree, fun, loose painting. Good way to practice creating loose paintings is get the colors out on the palette. Sap green, purple. Sap green, purple, yellow ochre, and we'll do a little bit of red here. So we could use a mixture of these colors right out to start here. Some darks, let's mix some darks up here. Burnt umber, French ultramarine blue, sap green we'll add in there. A little bit of purple. All right. Flowers. So I'm going to do some flower shapes. And again, this is fun painting here. We're not then you can go straight in. French ultramarine, burnt umber, burnt sienna. French ultramarine blue. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that this vase is pretty much clear. And again, you can probably see I'm just going for the gusto here. I'm getting my colors out on the palette. And purple mixed with some of the green for the shadowing. Purple for the shadows. If a shadow doesn't come out right, no problem. Now, more purple. We're going to make the flowers purple. And Again, here, less is more. I'm just making sure that my brush strokes are going upwards, like like the flowers grow upwards toward the light. So that's how I want my petals of the flowers to sort of look. And this is an abstract, somewhat of an abstract painting, right? We're not... This is not where I'm taking a lot. We want to keep this fun, loose, free. So that darker down here underneath. And I think that's good. A couple of splashes and spots of color, and we're okay. I will do this along the back of the wall. And as you can see, I'm really having fun with this, not stressing at all, getting the color on. And then you can always blot up a little bit of paint. And then you can make a little darker color there. That looks good. A little darker tonal values. You can splash in some cadmium lemon yellow a little bit. And that's about it. I really think that this is good. I might do just a touch of burnt umber, French ultramarine blue, sap green, a little bit, just a little bit of some branches and twigs. Adds another layer of an interest to it. Then we can go in with the shadow color. All right, that's it. If we're doing an occasional card like we're doing here, the key is like doing it quickly, a little more could we do this more realistic? Yeah, definitely. We could get a picture or a photograph and do it that way, but I guess what I'm thinking here is if we're going to make a card, we want it to be fun, free, and not too overworked. And we want to also get it done, in a reasonable amount of time. I hope you enjoyed this. This is a lot of fun. And then we'll just we'll peel off the tape here. And we always remember that good watercolor habits are, especially with doing like cards like this, you have to use really good tape. You can get it at the hardware store, the really good painter's tape. It comes in all different colors like this, but this is used for like professional painters use this to do like trim around doors, windows, moldings, things like that. And this tape is really excellent for not harming surfaces at all. So if you put this on your watercolor painting, on your watercolor paper, it'll lift up no problem. You won't have any problems with your paper tearing at all. So, you know, this is the best tape you can get, is the stuff at the big box stores. And again, we're just looking at the finished painting like this, and then we can add our comment below. You know, we can just take a nice pencil, and maybe we can work our message here first. We might make this a congratulations. So you might do it in real light pencil first, like that, barely touching the paper with the pencil, just so you get the feel of where the message is going to be. If it's going to run off the paper, you got to erase it a little bit and make the letters smaller. But pretty much that's the way we would do it. We would just take super light pencil, and you would like write out the name of the person or the message. And again, you try to lay it out so it fits in the bottom of the card. If it's too long, you erase it a little bit and make the letters smaller until you have it where it fits good. And then you can use like a Sharpie or a pen like this, you know, pens or Sharpies. There's different color Sharpies you can use. So there's all kinds of different things you can use, like ink. You can use ink if you like ink and wash. You can use some ink pen and use some ink pen to do your message on the bottom of your card. You can come up with all different ideas and make it beautiful and looking good. But that's it. That's the card here. Fresh, simple, fun to do. Doesn't take a lot of time. All right, everyone. We'll see you on the next video. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We make great videos every week. So you come by every week, and we'll be here, and we'll be painting. Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.